you've worked with some, whether it's legendary directors, you've worked with some big, obviously other peers, and the cast in the morning crew is just whoo. I mean, holy moly! And that goes back to what we were talking about with how things have changed today with streaming and because what that cast alone. Talk to me a little bit about working with a cast of that size, or working with a cast of that magnitude, also, and what's that like? When you come up there and working with, do you ever get nervous of like, how are these people going to be? Because I think how are they going to be? Are they going to be, their ego is going to be too big? Are they going to be welcoming? Does that ever cross your mind?
I mean, I think that cuts across every industry, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I imagine, first day in a job, first day in school, anything like that. But you're absolutely right. When you're talking about, these huge stars, all on ensemble, you wonder, how is this going to gel? Especially if you don't know them. I knew Jennifer a little bit before the show, just socially, a little bit socially. Sure. But I didn't really know anyone else in the cast at all. They're amazing. They're amazing. And my experience, certainly in television and film as well, but really in television when you're on a show, is that so the attitude is set from the top. And Reese and Jen have created an atmosphere where we're all free to try things, to experiment, to change things if we want, or suggest things. And so from day one, I always felt that freedom, which is amazing, and it's obviously much more conducive to creativity from every department. So, that's not always the case, on every show, because everyone works differently too. And, obviously different personalities. That could not be a more freeing set. It is an actor's dream to work on that show. Having said that, you're right. There's some big players there. You had Steve Carell, the first two seasons, John Hamm came in last season. Obviously, you have Mark Duplass and Billy Crudup, you have tremendous Greta Lee. You have great actors around you. But they're all actors. They're all there about the work, and it's all about trying to make it better, more credible, more authentic. So everyone's sort of working towards the same goal, and then the same thing goes for the crew. I mean, you have Mimi Leader as our producing director, who's an extraordinary director, along with all our other directors, and a phenomenal writing team. And this show was created by Carrie Aaron, who I worked with had the privilege of working with on Bates Motel, and now Charlotte Stout has taken over, and that both of them are extraordinary powerhouses.
It probably has the most star power of any show maybe we've ever seen, honestly, with some of the names you named, plus like Mindy Kaling. I mean, people pop in and out of that show like crazy. I think when people sit at home, they think about all of these people being friends on set. Are people eating lunch together? Like, is it just like a who's of Hollywood? How does it work?
That's a great question. Our schedules are so different. So like Marianne Cotillard is enjoying the season, as is Jeremy Irons. I've only met them through Zoom on table reads so far. Wow. I hope to meet them on set. I don't want to give away storylines or anything like that. But it all depends on whose storyline you're in. It is a massive cast. So often I'll shoot a season and I won't see certain actors because obviously we're on different sets. Shooting on different days. But I treasure those scenes, and we've had a number of them, like a gala scene where pretty much the entire cast is there, where these moments we have had. This is fun. This is like what you kind of live for as an actor, is like where you're all kind of like, all right, you set up the shot, now you got 20 minutes while they light, and so you're all hanging out and then just swapping stories. And those are moments that I really treasure, because you're getting to, hang out and have lunch and talk about everyone's, like we were talking about before, everyone's life experiences in the business, out of the business, kids, no kids, whatever it is. Those are the great moments. I mean, they don't happen every day, but like I said, on those big group scenes, I live for those. Those are great.
Well, the next time we talk, Nestor, and you wind up meet Marion Cotillard, I want to hear about the stories you guys share about Dark Knight Rises, because I assume I know.
You're right. I did meet her. I met her at the makeup chair on Dark Knight Rises. I have to remind her of that. Yes. Yeah. We met briefly. She had to suffer through one of my speeches at the Wayne Manor, estate. But yeah, she was great.
That's awesome.
I wonder, because it is such a political show, I always wonder this when I'm watching political shows. And obviously you've spoken about, you come from a background family. I believe it was your great uncle who was just like an unbelievable hero in Cuba and was massacred because of it. You have such a political background yourself, and it's a political show. Are people's politics getting involved on set? Are people talking about their opinions on certain things? You guys cover women's right to choose. You covered COVID. You cover everything that's going on current day.
It's interesting. I not really. No, I mean, I think we're because we're actors. We're there for our characters, and as an actor, we're taught you have to be your character's best defense attorney. You have to defend whether you believe his or her opinions on any given issue, social or political. This is your role. This is your job, and you truly have to invest in that. So the energy is spent on that, and not really on. No, I don't think anybody. I think people are. We're really there to honor the work, as much as we can. So we don't really get into anything like that. That would be epic, though.
Yeah.
Or not. Probably for the better.
It's true. Yeah, you would answer. I think you probably would answer that previous question. Was like, I don't want to deal with that person ever again after that conversation.
It's true. I mean, it's like if you're not going to talk about that stuff with family, it's like you're certainly not going to bring it up at work. And no, I mean, no, I mean, and the show is, like you said, Roxy, it's so topical and political as it is that, all of those things are already out there anyway. But the challenge really is just to make, bring your character to, your character's perspective to that topic and do it justice as best you can.